Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. And follow us on our YouTube channel. All right, so Bow Wow. He's been under a lot of fire for different things. Well, now he's come up with an idea that he's going to make an album called A Letter to My Exes, where it's going to be 8 songs. He was talking to his mother about this. 8 songs that are going to be titled the woman's name, the ex's name, and then he's going to tell a story about them. And he said that he knows it's going to be a lot of backlash, but everything is facts and there's no dancing around. And he said once the album comes out and people see the track list with the names, he said the internet's going to go crazy. Now, a lot of people are kind of figuring out who's going to be on there. Angela Simmons, Keisha Cole, Sierra. Even he mentioned Black China, but he said he wants to be a surprise. That's what he told his mom. So is this a good idea? Is this something to get buzz to sell albums? What are your thoughts, Lanier?
Still stuck on he talking to his mom about this. I ain't never rushed out to get no Bow Wow CD or nothing. So I'm not even interested, but okay, do you. I think that it might be in poor taste. There's something to be said for a person, male or female, to talk about their past conquest in that form. You're supposed to keep bedroom stuff in the bedroom, but the age that we live in, everybody gotta know all your business. So
it's true.
Go ahead, Bow Wow. God bless you. Godspeed.
Chicken, what are your thoughts?
Well, I believe his mom is still his manager. And I think that's maybe why he was talking to her about it. But mother manager needs to inform him or have him have an attorney on retainer, because I don't know how far, how deep, and how wide he's going to go with this. But, he could be liable, especially if the woman that he speaks of has a reputation, and her reputation is part of her livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Could be slander.
He said the women will be shocked when they see their names and probably nervous. Now, is this a good idea?
Is it a good idea for me? Nah, man. I mean, either Bow Wow is a genius and he's playing right into the role that he wants us to feed into, or he just needs some new guidance in his life. It looks like he's just scrambling, and he's having trouble with the fact that he's not a huge celebrity that he may have thought he could have been or was at one point in time. And he probably he want to make some money, but he's staying. You would think if somebody that old at this point would figure out how to make money wisely with some very, some integrity, you know what I mean? Or helping some other people make some money the way you did in the past or something. You got a child, maybe 2. Why would you want to get so dirty like that? Why would you want to get so messy like that?
Yeah. That's very
if you look at Bow Wow's history, right, and you look at some of the things that he's been in the headlines for, it's all for attention-getting things. Remember when he was working for BET, he took the BET credit card and he paid his child support, or then he lied about a personal jet or something, all for hype and
all for attention.
Stop,
Clout.
brother. Stop.
Clout.
You're Bow Wow. Own that. Own that you're Bow Wow and do something. Create something. Don't.
Right.
It's attention getting. It's not hot. It's not hot.
So maybe his mama shouldn't be his manager, because shouldn't she be wrangling him in regards to that? Like, how are you? I mean, I understand that he's grown, but you as the manager, like, I don't know, you're not having a discussion with your grown adult son about how he's moving, because also there was something mentioned about he loves strippers, because this was an interview, right, Stephen? Like, his mom was kind of interviewing him about this, which I thought it was weird, like, whatever. But he loved, like, his mom's like, you love strippers, and that's where like this last kid that may be his is from a stripper,
right?
So it's kind of like, I like, as his mother, like, how are you? I don't know how you dealing with that. Like,
he needs some guidance. He need. I mean, he's a grown man. He's a grown. Yeah. He's a grown man, but he's still got remnants of being a boy. So he just needs some new friends.
And last time I checked, we weren't even supposed to be calling him Bow Wow. Didn't he change his name back to Shad Moss?
Right. I think he probably
Yeah,
did.
and that failed. Even that
Nobody
failed.
respected it. Nobody respected it, you know?
Yeah.
But he doesn't warrant that. You know, they say people treat you how you let them treat you.
Yep.
Treat them how you allow them to treat you. He doesn't warrant nobody looking at him as a man, you know, as a grown-up.
Right.
Say
Feel
that.
like a child.
Yeah. That's probably another one of his issues too. He probably
Yeah.
battled with that too, the fact that he never really got, you know,
That's
tall.
true. That's true.
And I think that's where I think, and I hate to say it, but his mom is a part of that. If she's been his manager all this time, you're supposed to help him grow up.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't grown. He's like in his 30s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah, he
30s,
is.
yeah.
He hasn't grown up yet. So I don't know what the issue is. Like, I don't, weird.
Well,
They
another
say
person.
I'm sorry, Stephen. They
Go
say a child is supposed to grow you up. He's got a child, but you know, that's still like, man,
That don't mean
I'm
nothing.
done with it. I'm done with it, but that's just crazy to me, man. It's crazy. I didn't hear
It
anything
is
about this
crazy.
until you said this today. Yeah.
Well, he's definitely has people talking. We're talking about it now, so we'll see what happens. Well, Trey Songz is another person in the headlines. So he was at the Kansas City Chiefs football game last night, and he got arrested. Now, a lot more details are coming out about what really happened. Turns out it all was about a mask. A lot of the people in the stands, you know, the stadium had certain guidelines for COVID. They had the restrictions, and a lot of the fans that were in the stadium noticed that he didn't have a mask on, and so they called, security. Security came. He wouldn't listen to them. He wouldn't put it on, and so they eventually called the local police, and they released more information saying that when they got there, he wouldn't put the mask on. There was a physical altercation where he pushed one of the officers, and I believe punched one of them. Something even about a chokehold or a headlock. So, but that didn't last long because the police got on him and subdued him, and they arrested him. He was released today, and he went on Instagram and he posted pictures from, I guess, the jet ride over there, and he posted a picture with him with a mask, and then he showed a picture of him in the stadium without a mask, and his caption was, "The game was lit last night," right? And I don't know if this was his attorney, but there was an attorney who was the first one in the comment that said, "Shh." So now you're going to take this one. What are your thoughts? I mean,
Listen, man, I saw that scuffle. I mean, Trey had the man in a guillotine headlock,
Yeah.
He had to put, and I was in awe. I was amazed. I'm thinking they're going to kill him, but obviously he didn't get killed, but I'm thinking, whoa, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what saved his life. I really don't know, because I'm sure they didn't know who he was, but I mean, he was wrestling an officer.
Yeah.
Like literally fighting an officer, and punched him in the head a couple times. I couldn't figure out how he was still alive.
Right. That everything that we're seeing with police brutality. Yeah. Chike.
So, from my understanding, this all started from a heckler in the crowd. Somebody yelled something at him, and it was going between Trey and the heckler, and then the cop came over to Trey on an aggressive, like straight aggressive, no verbiage or nothing, just straight aggression. And I'm only picturing myself in a situation. You're sitting there minding your business, and someone comes at you aggressive, you're going to react aggressive back to protect yourself. And that's how that got started. But I have questions going back to the onset. Well, before he even got into the stadium, you're not wearing a mask, again, with this no mask thing.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you wear a mask in a crowded stadium?
Right.
Was it perhaps you wanted to get noticed? Again, attention. You want people to, if I was a celebrity to his magnitude, I think I would welcome being able to wear a mask and no one be able to know who I am, and I could sit and enjoy something without interruption, like a heckler, to start that type of negative situation. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope he does well in court. I hope it works out for him, but he's very
Calling the police.
Very lucky.
That's a felony.
That's
a felony.
It is. But he's very lucky he's not dead. He's very lucky he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
They've killed us for less.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. I really could not believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Lanier?
I mean, to Chike's point, I've heard, several different stories, and a couple people have come out in support of Trey Songz and that he was being heckled. Now, I don't know the mask part situation of it. I don't know if he had a mask on because sometimes when you take pictures, you take your mask off. So I don't know if the taking of the picture was just so he can have a picture of where he was and he put it back. I don't know. We don't know that. But of course, once the police get their statements together, it's not going to be in support of him. It's going to be to make them look in a certain light as if they did everything right. But we all know that 9 times out of 10, when a cop approaches a person of color, they are approaching you aggressively. They're not asking any questions. They're not, they're not being like a conversationalist and like, oh, well, what's going on, whatever. That's not how it goes down. To Nair's point, that they just, like they go right in. So he is lucky that he is alive. So hopefully it works out for him. But I don't understand why y'all just can't put no mask on.
Right.
My thing is when security came over to you, even before the police got there, and they had you put your mask on. Oh, sorry. You know what I mean? That would have been avoided. But again, you're right. We can't always trust what the police tell us with their account of what happened because we've seen so many times.
And to his credit, I understand, he may be going through some things too. And he's not, exempt from what's happening to his brothers and sisters out here. He sees this. He might have just been ready to die. He might have been ready to go out with a fight. He might have been ready. He's got a child, but he might have been like,
maybe
I'm tired. Everybody goes through that. And I don't know where he's at in his life. I don't know. He's got a lot going on, I'm sure. So I saw a man that was tired. I saw a man that was, if a black man is willing to fight a police officer, willing to fight, not run.
After everything we're seeing, yeah.
After everything we know they can get away with, that man was ready to die. He's ready to die for what he was, whatever he thought he needed to stand for, whatever it was, or the pressures in that,
And here's some more food for thought. Let's think about this. He's an artist. This time period since the pandemic has been very hard on artists because of not being able to distribute your art the way that you normally were used to. And you think about egos and you think about notoriety, i.e. not wanting to put the mask on, attention. So how do you know he didn't go there with intention, like Nair said? How do you know it's not about, maybe it got out of control. Maybe it was a situation that blew up out of his hands and it turned into something else. But it could have started just from wanting attention.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, since he's been more vocal on social media about everything that's been going on, like
he has
been more vocal. So that can also tie into the point that was just made. He's been very vocal, like just within 2020, he's been more vocal about what's been going on, and he's been getting a lot of slack for being so vocal, especially with the album that he dropped. The song, was it Black Love? I mean, talking about Black love. How are you getting backlash about talking about Black love and loving Black women? Like, I just don't understand why that's a problem. But he has been more vocal, so that ties into him just, I'm over it. Just F it. Like I'm tired. Like, we're all tired. We are all tired. So I mean, God bless him. I'm gonna pray for him because
most definitely. Well, before we go, we want to salute two greats, baseball Hall of Famer and civil rights icon Hank Aaron and TV legend Larry King, who both passed away. They're both in their late 80s. Larry King passed due to COVID. What are your thoughts, just briefly, on these two men? Chike, I'll let you start.
Hank Aaron is a pioneer, an ultimate legend, and the world of baseball owes a lot to him. And Larry King, a personal inspiration. He's a journalist of the highest tier, and he's been in the game like for 1,072 years. We always thought Larry King was going to be around, and no matter what. And I'm going to miss his interviews.
Yeah. I remember Larry King was divorcing his wife she was in her 60s and he was, 86. They said, you'll be fed up. You're in your 80s. You want to get a divorce. Nair, what are your thoughts on these two?
I have to echo Chike's sentiments. Larry King was old when I was young. I was like, he ain't going nowhere. He just always, you always get that little raspy voice and the pointy nose and glasses.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I am sure he's going down in the books as one of the greatest to do it behind that microphone when it comes to journalism. So thoughts and prayers to his family and friends, and man, Hank. That's my dad's inspiration. I know how important he is to our culture and what he went through as a Black athlete. So two very, sometimes you hear about people's passing, you're like, oh man, they were living fast anyway. Those were job well done ones for me.
Yeah, most definitely. Job well done is the best way to say it. Lanier?
When I heard about Hank Aaron, I was like, are you serious? Oh,
yeah.
It was, my dad was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because the conversation was like, because you know how the internet can spread stories. So the conversation was like, well, he had just got the vaccine.
Yeah.
And he died. And my dad was like, I want to get the vaccine, but now I don't think so. So I'm like, that's how the conversation went. He was a little sad. And we talked about it, but a pioneer, definitely. And then Larry King, he's just like Nair said, like, I was little and he was old. It's like Morgan Freeman. It's like Morgan Freeman. Like I don't remember Morgan Freeman being young, or James Earl Jones. I don't even remember him being young. It's like that. So I mean, we lost two important people on two different spectrums.
Yeah.
Two important people to to the world and to the culture. That they merged together, because Larry King, he was for everybody.
Right.
Like, he interviewed anybody. He told you he knew who you was.
Right.
So it's definitely a huge loss, but like Nair said, job well done. Definitely.
As I say, job well done. Rest in peace, gentlemen. Yeah. Lanier, first show, thank you so much. Chike, Nair, you'll have a great, Chike, I'll see your movie reviews. Nair, Lanier, have a great one. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
All right back after this.